All right, what's going on? All right, so we have a new deck here. I am trying out. It is, if anyone knows, Aspiring Spike. It is his deck. I have brewed it up in actual paper, and it has done really good. So current my overall record is 3-1. That's my overall record with the deck, and that's playing against Eldrazi. I've played against uh, trying to think of all the different decks. Eldrazi, I played against Storm. I've played against Oculus. Um, I've played against Boros, Yawgmoth. So I've played against a couple different decks, but this is the first time I've actually captured. I didn't have my camera equipment on me last time, so this is me capturing it. So this will be the first game you guys get to see. So, but shout out to Spike. I mean, I know he doesn't need it. He's bigger than me, but for this deck, I've been having so much fun playing it. It is a lot of fun. So I'm on the play, starting off with Hedge Maze to keep the land on top or the card on top. I believe it's a Court of Calling, and now we are going to that card. Green Sun Zenith, getting Admiral Grazer, getting this going, getting my ramps on. So, if anyone at any point has any suggestions for this is like I said, I've only played a total of 8 games with this deck. I built it because I had a majority of the stuff, and there was only a few cards that I needed, which was like Court of Calling and Craterhoof Behemoth and something else. But a cool new card I added, which you guys will see at some point in the videos if you guys watch, is it's not new, but it's Omnath Locus of Rage. So which is pretty sweet. It's a really cool way when the deck starts going off, or like when you've kind of established something and you can't really win on that turn, you get to Court of Calling it at instant speed when someone board wipes you or Wraths, and you end up winning the game from it. Which I actually did against someone, which was really good. I don't know how great it is. It is 1 for 1. There's been one time where it was really bad when I drew it, and I was like, well, this is like the worst card I could have drawn. And then there was another time where it was insane and it won me the game. So, but this is him. He played a Overlord of the Bale Merc, got his value. He got the Solitude, and now I'm Court of Calling for another Grazer. Just getting getting my ramp on. I mean, I can only cord for one, so I think we're just trying to look for some value here. 2 cards in hand. So, I mean, this is the real value. I mean, like I can't even explain this deck has been great for me. So, um, it just plays a lot of these dual creatures, and then by the time you play something good, it's like they just can't deal with it. So currently my hand looks like Craterhoof Behemoth and a Court of Calling. So, and we draw. It looks like Titania. Oh yeah, and get life totals correct here. It looks like um, looks like I'm at 15. I feel like that can't be right. I don't remember what else I've taken damage for. It could be 18 because I feel like I've only had 2 fetches. It's only been one, so maybe it's 19. I think that's 19, and then he's at 16. So yeah, but yeah, real quick, we're in the beginning of the thing. I am gonna end up getting with him, but let me pull up, make this announcement because I guess no one believed me. So I thought people would. I thought I would get a lot more people, at least comment and everything. Like a lot of people, I already had a lot of people subscribe to the channel, so I thought I'd get more people that would at least comment or other things. But I do have someone that is both liked the video, he commented, and he is subscribed. We have an Isaac Potter 2229. If you are watching this video, you have won, so you can reach out to me. I believe I know who you are. I think you're one of the guys at the store locally. So my goal is to, I'm gonna get with you. Um, but as you can see here, this is okay. So I'm gonna have to pause for a quick second. So I I set this up first, so I got the which I think he said there was like a better interaction here at some point, which he didn't know. But I got the Sky Shroud claim, which says you can sacrifice a land and give target creature Shroud. Um, so there was probably different interactions where something where he could have stopped this better, but he didn't really know. So that is a Titania, priest of something. But whenever it comes in, it returns a land from the graveyard to play, and then whenever a land comes from the battlefield to the graveyard, you make a 5/3 elemental. So this is a part of the combo, more or less, are these two cards here plus Risen Reef, which you'll see hopefully at some point. I don't know, but yeah, he goes to pitch card and cast Solitude, targeting the Titania before I get my land back. So in response, I sack a land and give it Shroud. So that is where we're at. So sack a land, give it Shroud. This this lands. He's like, okay, this is good. I mean, he's like, I'm gonna do the same thing, the opposite. He ephemerates. And he does it again, and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna give it Shroud every single time, and then I'm gonna get my 3/5/3s. I'm like, I don't know how you deal with this. So, and I still get my land that comes back into play. So, and which is great. I have a Beseiju as well that I get to have. So, like, I mean, like, this is just like we're in a good spot. Like, I mean, I literally can sack my whole board now and just alpha swing him for to basically kill him because I already have 15. I have 20, so we'll say 20 damage. He gains 3 life, putting him, or he negates 3 of it. Or I guess it would be 5, 8 of it. So, um, man. So if he takes, he would still take 15. As of right now, he would still take 15, and would be at 1 plus 3 would be at 4. So all I have to do is literally just make one more 5/3, and we're just in a good spot. And then like I think most people don't understand that like rebounding um, on ephemerate happens at the same time. So you're gonna have 2 rebound triggers that'll happen. You'll choose the stack. One will come off target. Other one comes off target. One's gonna end up fizzling. So that's the downside to a double ephemerate. So like both rebound triggers have to resolve. So one will target. Other rebound starts. You know, you're casting the other one target. One will blink and then the other one will fizzle. So he's like, oh, well, at least the good thing is like casting both of them are good, but I think at a certain point there's one you just keep one in exile. I think he chooses to do both because he knows there's no point into rebounding it. So which is because he's playing Ketchamos, so now he has more cards in exile here, which is pretty good. So, but Ketchamos, like I mean, he taps out for this. Ketchamos is not online. I mean, I just literally get to go wide, and this is where I'm deciding whether I want to sack all my lands. So, but while this is happening, Isaac Potter, I did went back into that, so I can make a little clip. I do want to do something with you, maybe open up the packs. So you are going to get 6 Ether Drift packs. I am going to get that for you, so we can get with you at the store. So yeah, this is where he determines I'm just going to kill him because he doesn't have the blocks. So, I mean, Solitude was his only other out, and it didn't. I mean, it didn't even help him there. So, but anyways, Isaac, if you get with me, we'll do a little video and do a clip that I can post. If you're cool with it, we can sit down and I'll get you your packs. We can open them, see if you get anything cool, and go from there. But yeah, you are the winner. You're the only person in all of those videos that we watched or that I created that liked, you're subscribed, you liked, and you commented. So you're the first and the only one. So I appreciate the commitment, and I'm gonna show you some appreciation for it. So hopefully if you watch this video, you'll get to see it. If not, I'll just tell you in person. It'll be more exciting to see your face. So But yeah, we will gonna get the opportunity to do that. But going into game two, um, so like as you can see, this deck has like high potential in my opinion. Like it ramps really well. You get 8 tutor effects with all your creatures, and there's definitely like some sweet combos in there. But majority of the time, you don't even have to like. There's other synergies where you can go even further, kind of like Titan. But sometimes you just like you're trying to go for the kill. Like Solitude's probably like the if you're trying to like, go for the Craterhoof line where you just slam Craterhoof. Um, you know, it's not bad, but like you can still technically like sometimes you have to tap out for Crater Hoof, and it's not always the win. So you need to find other avenues of winning. So I have the Omnath is a good win. I'm looking at other solutions or other things like there's a possibility of like a one of Bristly Bill. I thought about that because like you can do the synergy with if you have so the other thing is with Risen Reef. So every single time Titania makes a 5/3, they're elementals, so you get to trigger. If you have at least 2 Risen Reefs out, it'll be 2 triggers, and it's almost statistically impossible to miss. Like it happens, it is very small. Like I believe it's very small because you just have so much power. And then if you have a Nissa out, there's one Lotus Cobra, it does that. And I am only compared to like Spike's list. I am only playing 3 Nissas because I'm trying to reduce the hit percentage of hitting another Nissa, and I still think it's really good. You still get to get it, and right now in that slot is the Omnath Locus of Rage. And so far it's been good for me. I mean, I almost every single time I've done Nissa, she has literally hit me a Risen Reef and then cast it that turn. Like my percentages are like I think out of 4 times that I've done it, five times that I've done it, I've hit Nissa once, and yeah, it's 5. I hit Nissa once, Omnath the second time, and the other 3 were all Risen Reefs on Nissa's trigger. Which, if you don't know what Nissa Resurgence Animus does, landfall comes in just like Lotus Cobra, makes you a color, mana of any color. If it's the second landfall of the turn, you second landfall of the turn, you get to look at the top cards of your library, reveal cards from the top of your library until you hit an elf or an elemental. So she hits herself, of course, if you play multiple copies, but you're usually trying to hit Risen Reef. So another downfall to Omnath Locus of Rage, but because it hits that when you're like your combo pieces, like you probably want to hit Titania or Risen Reef. So maybe Omnath's not the play. But it was kind of fun to do it, and I got it at instant speed when someone board wiped me, and it killed them. So this is where we're trying to figure out what do we do. I'm like, do I keep up the consign? I can, and I think we go for the part that tries to reward you with consign. Um, it also rewards me for the turn after, because after this turn I get to play a fetch land in hand, and I get the mana off of it if he doesn't have the removal spell. So, and he does. He has the Fatal Push, as Andrea Maraguchi says. I love the way he says Fatal Push. So we drew Nissa. I believe I have fetch land in hand. With him having all that mana up, it's really hard to decide what you do. So um, so we play Nissa, and so this is the part where a lot of people don't understand the stacking of landfall. So if people understand, you have landfall trigger makes mana. What you're supposed to do if you want to kill Nissa without getting the trigger, you wait till I fetch. Once I fetch, now you get to kill the Nissa, and I don't get the second landfall trigger. But um, but that's the only way you can do it. So you can't do it on the mana. He has to wait till I fetch, which I'm perfectly okay with forcing him to do this, and then I'm pretty sure I'll have the mana to create. I can create the mana here and cast Risen Reef. So I mean, no matter what I'm fetching, it just if he does it right now, then it's the wrong play. He needs to wait till I fetch and then kill it, because then I don't get the value off of it. But this is where I had Sky Shroud Claim comes in and I cast it, and that's where I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get mana here. There's a chance you have a removal spell. I'm gonna cast Sky Shroud Claim with the mana that I produce, so I can protect it now, so I can get my value off of it. So it really forces him to do this, which is like phenomenal because now it forces him to do it, which now allows me to get my value. I'm for sure getting my value off of this. This is why I love this deck. It is so much fun. I have enjoyed the crap out of it. Now I get my opponents to be stressed out and think about it, which is just like, all you could ask for in Magic, where you just get to do your thing and they have to be worried about what you're doing. Uh, so I see Ephemerate, Solitude, Felia. Let's see. I mean, I just feel like you just let me get my value and just get your beats in. Like I just think Solitude is, doing this is so good. Like it forces me to sack land, so that's like that. I'm gonna fetch in response. And we just get a surveil land. I mean, we're just going for value here at this point because no matter what, he's going to get to kill it. So at this point, I'm just trying to set up for the turn. Uh, get my surveil. Oh, I missed my surveil. Oh well, technically I can stack it. I forgot. I think I told it that's what the pause was. I'm pretty sure I stacked it where it landfall triggers happen, land comes in, there's a surveil stack, there's a surveil, and then two landfall triggers where I reveal and make mana. So I can do it where I made the mana, I made blue mana, um, and and now we have this wild stack. I got my Titania. Then he ephemerates, and I'm like, he's saying it's only on his turn, which we're on my turn right now. So yep, this happens, that happens. I gain 3 life, which I am terrible at these keeping track of the life totals for us here. So currently he is at 15. I think I'm at 15 as well. Yeah, I think I'm at 15 as well. Let me fetches the 14. So Consign the Memory was like pretty much the only sideboard card that I thought of that could bring in against him. I don't know what else could have. Like it hits all the ETB triggers, so you know that's probably the best thing that I got. Then we sack a land, which I don't know if it was the right play, but it's like Skyshot Claim is like the key piece to the deck to be able to go off with Titania, and I have both of them, so I'm like I have to protect them, so it just kind of sucks. Like I really couldn't let it die here. Trying to keep my lands, forcing him to do his thing. I mean, I think it's right here because I mean, I don't have enough mana. I was like, if with having Titania in hand, it's probably right to. What's really awesome is that it's hard for him to flicker my cards with Felia, because of the fact that I got all the ETBs. So, but we have Risen Reef in hand, Titania, and I think another land. So this is where he gets to go crazy. It's cool. So I mean, he exiles this. He sees it for exiling a card for his graveyard, a card from my graveyard. So he loses 2. He loses 2 from it. draws 2, and then he gets to draw from the actual relic as well. So this is like, you know, living the dream. This was a one mana draw 3, lose 2. Pretty powerful stuff in modern. This is where I'm at the point I'm just kind of like, I think we're getting behind. I think we're getting a little too far back. So I'm like, hey, you flickered that. You get that out of here. So I was at 19. Whoops. Went to 15, and he gains 4, going back up to 16. What? How did I lose that? He gained 4 there, right? Um, he's still at 14, so I don't know. I don't know what I did. So Risen Reef. This time we choose to draw the land, and then I'm playing the land. So people don't misunderstand what happened there, because you don't have to put the land into play. So I drew it so this way I could play it untapped. And it looks like I drew Consigned for a turn. Yep, he gets in for 7. I take my 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to gain 2, 4, 21. Oh, he had the fetch. He was a 20. Missing things. So we have Bill Merck, and he picked up. See, I don't know if fetching here was the right thing. I don't think. Okay, so there's a lot of argument for it, but like I want to just get my second red source here, which is right. But like I don't know if I'm supposed to, because of the fact of like just thinning the deck. So. And we got 2 triggers, drew 2 cards, and unfortunately drew Crater of Behemoth, but we did draw an Endurance, which is kind of big in case he tries to like exile a card from the graveyard. So which is rough, because for me to be able to cast Endurance here, I have to get rid of my Crater Hoof Behemoth. And that's why I'm just like, I'm in such a bad spot. So he attacks. This thing has Menace. Take. I'm at 7. So that's 5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was like, okay, I have a response to the target. I'm like, yeah, this is a triggered ability before the target or not, but I'm going to consign it. Make sure he didn't have anything that happens. So I'm at 7. Felia triggers. So I can't take it all. I have to block 1, take 4, 5, 6, but then I can't fetch, so I have to block 2 things here, unfortunately. And then before damage, I have to pitch the Crater Hoof Behemoth. I think I was supposed to fetch, so I have put more lands in. But I just needed to put Sky Shroud Claim. No, that's what it was. I wanted to put these cards on bottom, so Sky Shroud Claim goes to the bottom, and then I get to fetch, shuffling the deck up. I probably should have fetched. Yeah, I'm gonna fetch while those are still on the stack. So I go to 6 here. We're just trying to maximize plays at this point. Those are literally my only colored sources other than a bounce. I have a green-red bounce land, which I think I need one of each. I think I need a green-red bounce land and a green-blue bounce land. The Simic Growth Chamber and everything. I also messed up by not, like, I should have let Endurance sack before the shuffle back in, so the Endurance goes back in. So, and now we're just in a horrific state. And he tried to pick up a creature, and yeah. So I think we had to have like I think the only way to like even survive out of that, which I highly doubt we could have, would have been land. We had 5 mana, so land, and then we had to draw specifically the Skyshroud Claim that we just shuffled back in, draw a Skyshroud Claim, and then just Skyshroud Claim into Titania, and um, yeah, Skyshroud Claim into Titania, and then just made a bunch of dudes. That was that. That is it. That had been the biggest hope. But as you can see, we had everything. I had the double Risen Reef, I had Titania, and I had the Sky Shroud Claim. It just went in different orders. So I think we had. I mean, we had a snap keep for this game. We had a really good hand that was, I mean, gonna take off. I think I had double Risen. I had double Risen Reef in hand, and Endurance. So like it was just gonna gas. The only thing I didn't have is a 1-drop. So if anyone has any suggestions, let me know. I really have been liking the Boreal Grazers because they ramp you, um, you know, and it's a 0/3, so it's a really good blocker. Getting the extra landfall is great. Um, and then we have Wall. You haven't really seen them, which I think we have one in hand this game, but we have Wall of Roots, and we have um, words. We have a Wall of Roots and Nantuko? Springheart Nantuko, which makes the 1/1s, which is great with Court of Callings, and it also makes copies of your Risen Reefs because you need at least 2 to like really go off. But it allows you to go nuts. All right, we're gonna get this right off the bat before we do this. So he is at 19, and I think I fetch stocked here, going to 17. And we're gonna crack my drink. What we got? He fetched Emperor of the Bones, so we're doing great. That is everything and more I wanted to see. So get the draw. Didn't have land. Drew the land for turn. Play the guy that's gonna protect all my stuff. And like now that I have the second Risen Reef, like it's almost like it's really okay to like to sacrifice a land here to protect your stuff. So I don't think there's a problem with it at all, just because of the fact that it, you know, it's everything that you need to be able to like protect your stuff. So he plays a dude. I'm like, cool. Exile this. He loses a life and draws. And we drew the Titania for turn. Now I'm like, oh, like that's so good. So we just have to survive a turn and then get this Titania in. So, um, play land, play another land. So now at this point, I mean, we have Endurance. I don't know what the other card is. So as long as it's Endurance green card, it looks like a load, or no, that's the Nantico Springheart. So now I can just like pitch Endurance here for value to try to ramp myself. But yeah, at this point we're in like such a good spot, and him drawing the second Emperor Bones is just not good in the matchup. Like he's gonna exile 2 cards, lose 2 life here, I believe, and draw 2. I mean, if he passes, I think we just pretty much win the game. This is what I'm talking about statistically. As long as you get 2 Risen Reefs, we're in a great spot. So, and we just drew Court of Calling, so it's like when I saw that, I was like, oh, all right. Tap the creature, leave the mana open here. So we have blue in case we draw a Risen Reef. So now I'm trying to figure out. So we have Court of Calling. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I don't know if this is correct. I think there was. We're supposed to like play land here so we can leave a creature untapped. So we have 2 Craterhoof Behemoths. So with all the stacks, I'm basically saying where this is going to die before the shuffle. And I'm going to do all this before the stacks as well. And I'm like, okay, I need to leave a creature back. And I'm Court of Calling X is 3. And then I believe we get Nissa here, which Nissa is just going to give us more value and, land, make mana, which this is just going to let us just win at this point. So this is it. This is Nadu. It's Nadu. You let a board state stay on, and it gets wild. So we did all that. We Court of Calling. Oh, well, there might have there would have been some misses here. So like before the land happened, we should have resolved all the Risen Reef triggers. I don't think it mattered, but that definitely was a mistake. So this is where I'm explaining, like basically it's deterministic. I did mess up, but I had the protection now with consign for the solitude, so you'd have to have specifically solitude ephemerate. But I could have just like valued, made a bunch of 5/3s, get my mana until I got double consign there to kind of protect myself. I was gonna protect every single piece because I was gonna sacrifice lands, make 5/3s. So like, you know, gonna pause here and kind of explain. So if you guys made it this far, I'm glad. But more or less what was happening is that every single time I'd sack a land, I'd give something Shroud, and then when I gave something Shroud and sacked the land, I'd make a 5/3 from the Titania. It's an elemental, so you had 2 Risen Reefs out triggers. You'd have to 2 looks at the top, you put a land into play or draw it, and basically boom. As long as you're like every so many cards, which you have really high odds of putting lands into play. So as long as you're getting a land into play, you can just sack all of your lands, make a crap ton of 5/3s, and just go through the whole deck. And then the point is, you get Court of Calling. You use Court of Calling to cast Crater of Behemoth. And now this is why I have the Omnath Locus of Rage for this exact example, where you sometimes have draw Craterhoof Behemoth without having the Nissa out. So you don't make all that mana, and when you have Craterhoof Behemoth in your hand, you can't Court of Calling, right? And you have to be able to create mana to be able to cast the Craterhoof Behemoth. So this is an instance where you can just draw. Hopefully you don't hit either one, right? But if you hit the Craterhoof Behemoth, you still have Omnath in the deck to protect you against a board wipe, because I think he had like Wrath of the Skies there. So as long as I hit at least one Court of Calling in the deck, then I get to cast Court of Calling and go get Omnath when he goes to board wipe me, which I think he was going to do it for X's 3 probably there. So which would have wiped my whole board. If I go get Omnath in response, he dies, because Omnath says whenever an elemental dies, I can deal 3 damage to anything, and I would have had like 15 elementals, 16 elementals. So you guys do the math, they'd just be dead. So, but yeah, guys, as always, appreciate you sticking around. Get down to game 2. Deuces. Top Gingy out.